Tomorrow is the final shutdown date. A very shocking attack is being planned for you. Archangel Michael says, the hourglass has almost emptied and your name glows on the final grain that falls tonight. The corridors of power are whispering, and a plan with your shadow stitched into it is being moved like a dagger beneath a velvet cloth. The signal flares are hidden in smiles, but the sky above you already knows what is being prepared. The countdown is not just a clock. It is a corridor you must walk with your shoulders squared and your eyes unblinking. You stand at the threshold where fear would like to negotiate away your courage for a little silence. You will not trade, you will not kneel, and you will not disappear. They studied your habits and memorized your ordinary rituals to slip a shock into the places you trust most. They expect you to move exactly as you moved yesterday so they can meet you exactly where you will arrive tomorrow. You will turn their expectation into your shield and their schedule into your escape. The attack plan for you is not only a blow to your name but a net for your breath. It seeks to shatter your voice and harvest your momentum before the season turns in your favor. It is shaped like an accident and dressed like a coincidence, but its architect is desperate and clumsy. You are not alone inside this hour. Your ancestors brace your back like a hidden wall, and the quiet ones who love you have already started to stir. There are hands you cannot see lifting the edges of your path so your steps land on higher ground. This is the last night your old fear gets a seat at your table. You will light the room with a new decision and give your fear a coat and a door and tell it to leave without turning around. You will not keep the chair warm for anything that steals your sleep. Tonight, you remove your name from every list that was written without your permission. You refuse to be the soft target and you refuse to be the easy lesson. You become the storm that outthinks the storm sent for you. The blueprint of the attack carries 3 hinges and each hinge can be unfastened with your awareness. The first hinge is distraction, thick and sugary, meant to keep your eyes away from the real door. The second hinge is urgency that is fake, designed to push you into the wrong hallway while the right hallway waits one breath to your left. The third hinge is isolation, the oldest trick. Dressed in the newest outfit, it wants you to believe no one would believe you. It wants you to accept the small cage of silence as your new address. You will not accept it, and you will not travel alone. You will move with the rhythm of a warrior who has studied the map of midnight and knows how to walk without losing the road. You will speak with the clarity of a bell and the steadiness of a lighthouse turned inward. The ones plotting think they know your doorway, your timing, and your trust. They do not know the new covenant you made with your future while they rehearse the past. They do not know you sharpened your yes and cleaned your no until both were unbreakable. Your first task is simple and powerful. Alter your tomorrow before their expectation arrives at the corner. Change the route, change the hour, and change the sequence of your steps. The smallest turn will collapse their choreography and leave them bowing to empty air. Your second task is bolder. Secure the place where your name is stored. Guard your signatures, protect your voice notes, and keep your keys beyond the fingers of carelessness. The lock you strengthen tonight stops a theft that would have cost you a season. Your third task is sovereign. Decide what cannot be taken. Mark it in your chest and write it in your breath. When you declare a boundary as sacred, every lesser hand loses permission to touch it. The room where they gathered has stale light and anxious laughter. A screen shows your image paused on a frame where your kindness looks like weakness to them. They mistake mercy for surrender and patience for sleep, and their misreading becomes your advantage. You will break the script they wrote with a single unpredicted move. You will call the right ally at the right minute, and your voice will carry the weight of a door closing on what was meant to harm you. A witness stands ready, and a record will be kept. When you wake tomorrow, wake without rushing. Listen to the room, listen to the road, and listen to the voice inside your ribs. The guidance is already stitched into your breath like a silver thread. Your pace will be measured and deliberate. Your eyes will notice the corner you never noticed and the reflection you never studied. The air changes slightly before a storm, and you will feel that change and nod as if greeting an old lesson. Your courage tonight is not noise, it is architecture. You are building the bridge the sun will cross when it comes for you at dawn. Each plank is a decision. And each nail is an instruction obeyed. You will refuse invitations that smell like smoke. You will delay replies that arrive with frantic tapping. You will step away from the table where your peace is the meal. Between now and the moment their plan expects you, you will do 3 quiet, precise things. You will confirm what matters, you will cancel what drains, and you will conceal what must be kept until it is strong enough to walk alone. The room inside you grows larger when you choose like this. You used to think the worst thing would be being underestimated. Tonight you understand the worst thing would be underestimating yourself. That miscalculation ends here. The final shutdown date is a phrase designed to scare you into running into their net. You will let the phrase ring and fall, and then you will turn the handle of the correct door. The correct door is always quiet and honest and a little heavier than expected. They have rehearsed your panic and practiced their triumph in secret. They have not rehearsed your composure or practiced your silence. They will not know what to do when you look at them and do not flinch. You will carry proof like a blade made of light. You will keep receipts of messages, timestamps of calls, and the names of rooms. The truth is not a weapon until it is ordered and ready. The shock they planned for you will recoil when it meets the spine you forged this year. Their thunder will be swallowed by your ground. The floor will remember whose feet kept it steady during every tremor. Your sleep tonight will be selective and guarded. You will sleep where the moon can find you and wake you if needed. You will sleep in a way that stores strength instead of spending it. You will prepare what can be prepared, batteries of courage, lamps of clarity, and water for the hour when fire tries to speak. You will move your essentials to the place where your hand finds them without looking. This is not fear, this is wisdom dressed as order. Your allies are awake and quiet. One will text a simple sentence that sounds ordinary but lands like a key in your palm. Another will appear where you do not expect them, and their presence will bend the room toward safety. There will be a moment when the air goes thin because an old story tries one last time to win. You will breathe slowly and imagine your breath widening the room until the story has nowhere to stand. You will breathe as if writing your name across the night in steady lines. The attack as designed wants you alone under a light that burns too bright. You will not stand there, you will step to the shadow that belongs to you and let the light misfire. You will force the script to skip pages until it confesses it never knew you. At the edge of their plan is a cliff made of rumor. They hope you will step forward blindfolded and fall into the mouth of their narrative. You will remove the cloth and walk sideways along the rock until the ground lifts to meet your feet. If a message arrives with sugar in its voice, you will taste the metal underneath and set the cup down. If a call arrives with urgency that refuses details, you will end the call and let your quiet phone ring like a small, defeated bell. If an invitation arrives with a clock attached to it, you will tear off the clock and watch the invitation lose its power. Your strength is not only muscle, it is a treaty with yourself. You have promised to choose what protects your future even if your past trembles and complains. You have promised to love your life as if you designed it with your own hands. The darkest hour is loud because it is losing. It shouts because it cannot persuade. It clangs because it has no music left. You will answer the dark hour with kindness to yourself and a firm voice to the world. You will give permission to your tired bones to rest and to your ready mind to act. You will not pretend it is not happening, and you will not let it become your whole sky. The ones plotting count on your hesitation. They plan to drive their wedge into the space between your knowing and your doing. You will keep that gap so narrow a rumor cannot breathe inside it. Your path forward is marked in 4 moves: reposition, reveal, reinforce, and rise. You reposition your plans so their map fails. You reveal enough truth to freeze their momentum and invite the right eyes to watch. You reinforce your circle by naming roles and confirming loyalties. You rise by stepping onto the platform of your preparation with calm feet. The crowd of fear will watch you ascend and forget what it was cheering for. The morning will arrive the way a curtain opens on a stage that has been carefully reset in the night. New props, new marks, new lights. You will be ready to improvise within a script that belongs to you. You will eat something that steadies you and dress in the armor of simple clothes that let you move. You will carry less than yesterday so you can move faster than yesterday. You will speak only what advances your day. When their first attempt fails, they will scramble and call it a test. You will let them call it what they need while you seed your next hour with wise steps. They will realize too late that your calm was not luck but a discipline. The friend who doubted you will feel the room shift and remember the time you stood for them. The stranger who watched quietly will step forward with a sentence that matters. The door that once closed will open because you did not beg it to. Power is not a roar, it is a posture. You will stand with your shoulders telling the room you belong in it. You will breathe with your lungs telling the clock it works for you. When they try the back door, you will already be there, leaning on the frame with patience. When they try the side window, you will wave from inside the house you built with honest tools. When they try your name, you will answer with your history cleaned of apology. The record will show that you moved early, that you moved wisely, and that you moved with grace. The record will also show that those who plotted against you learned something they did not want to learn. They will learn that your peace is not a costume, it is a law. Let the night continue its small theater until it tires. Let the whispers use up their breath. Let the shadows learn what happens when they stand next to truth for too long. You will feel a click inside your chest as the last hinge loosens. You will hear a soft sound like a door neutralizing a storm on the other side. You will know you are ready when the fear sounds like an old story told in the wrong language. This is not just survival, this is succession. You are inheriting a new level of yourself because you refuse to sell the old one for acceptance. You are inheriting clarity because you would not rent your attention to noise. Keep your eyes on the path that is yours to walk and your hands on the work that is yours to build. Keep your name clean in rooms where you are not standing. Keep your joy hidden from hands that clap on the surface but curl inward in the dark. Your intuition will scratch your shoulder when you drift toward a familiar mistake. You will thank it without speaking and adjust your step as if nothing happened. Your enemies will think you are lucky. Your friends will know you are listening. Tonight, take inventory of your doors. Name the keys you hold and the keys you gave away. Call back what you loaned to the wrong windows. When you speak, speak like a signature. When you move, move like an answer. When you pause, pause like a gate that chooses who passes. The attack seeks noise. You will give it stillness. The plan seeks heat. You will answer with cool, deliberate motion. The plot seeks the version of you that used to over-explain. You will give it the version of you that simply acts. Your steps tomorrow will be counted by your own calendar, not theirs. Your shadow will shrink not because the light is harsh but because you stand closer to what is true. Your voice will sound like something that survived the storm and kept singing. Let this be the night where you rearrange your room so the window no longer frames the street where gossip strolls. Let this be the night you change the password on your peace and give it only to those who have earned it. Let this be the night you move the chair where you used to sit and worry and place a plant there instead. There will be a message that tries to open you with flattery. You will smile as if reading a story you have already outgrown. You will reply with a boundary and close the book. There will be a person who tries to borrow your time and spend it carelessly in front of you. You will hold your time like currency that feeds your future and tell them it is not for sale. You will not ask for understanding. You will offer conclusion. There will be a memory that tries to convince you nothing can change. You will place that memory in a box labeled "finished" and set it on a high shelf. You will not take it down again. You will not chase closure. You will become closure. You will not chase validation. You will validate your mission with daily proof. You will not chase acceptance. You will accept your calling and let the rooms adjust. Every plan against you has a seam, and that seam loosens when your daily choices tighten. Every rumor against you has a season, and that season ends when you plant a different harvest. Every weapon formed against your name grows dull against a life that is maintained with integrity. Stand in this final hour and understand that final does not mean finished. It means the end of one permission and the beginning of a new authority. It means the end of your availability to chaos and the beginning of your availability to purpose. You will walk into tomorrow carrying what cannot be taken, your decision, your focus, your trained silence, your joyful defiance. You will leave behind what cannot be trusted, frantic demands, brittle approval, artificial emergencies. You will meet yourself in the morning and you will recognize your own eyes. The plot will stumble because you did not show up where your ghost used to appear. The attack will miss because you moved like light through a different window. The shutdown will become a reset because you chose to turn it into one. This is the last night that fear invoices you for living. This is the last night that shame takes the first bite of your courage. This is the last night you practice being smaller than your assignment. Walk to the edge of this page and step into the next one with your chin lifted. Walk into rooms with the authority of someone who learned the map of darkness and kept their candle dry. Walk as if you were expected by the future and escorted by the present. Your heartbeat, steady and brave, will be the drum that calls the morning to work for you. Your breath, patient and exact, will be the seamstress that stitches your actions into outcomes. Your eyes, bright and rested, will be the scouts that spot the trap before your feet arrive. A last word for those who thought you were easy to fold. Your corners remember the iron. A last word for those who thought you were easy to move. Your roots remember the rain. A last word for the night itself. You may stay, but you may not rule. When the sun rises, it will find you already in position. It will find your desk clear of old arguments and heavy with new plans. It will find your door locked to drama and open to discipline. The final shutdown date becomes their deadline, not yours. They must explain their effort to the silence that watched them. You will not attend their explanation. You will be busy building what they tried to delay. Your grace will not excuse harm, and your strength will not forget mercy. Your memory will keep the lesson and release the sting. Your stride will lengthen because your load grew lighter. Remember this: you cannot be surprised by a storm you already trained for. You cannot be dethroned from a seat you did not steal. You cannot be erased from a story you were born to write. The night will end on schedule. Your story will continue on purpose. The plan against you will evaporate in daylight and confess itself in clumsy footprints. You have already won the quiet battles that decide loud outcomes. You have already refused the cheap crown that breaks the neck that wears it. You have already chosen the road where the truth walks beside you like an honest friend. Tomorrow, when you take your first step, let it be the kind of step that announces a season. Let it be the kind that tells the world you will answer only to what is real. Let it be the kind of step that makes your old fear look small in the rear view of your courage. Close this night with intention. Gather your mind like a king gathers counsel and listen until the noise is cut from the room. Put your hand on your heart and agree with the future that has been knocking with patient knuckles. The final word is simple: you are ready. The plan set against you is fragmenting even now. The morning is on your side and it is already walking toward you. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, the midnight ledger is open and every hidden entry is being tallied. Your courage is the ink that refuses to fade while the old debts of fear are stamped as settled. The page you turn next will not squeal under the weight of your name. The corridor ahead is straighter than it looks because clarity pressed the walls into place. You are walking with a measured pulse that keeps the floorboards honest. Nothing follows you that you do not allow. The plan against you keeps changing outfits to avoid recognition. Its perfume is the same, and your discernment catches it at the door. You nod once and let the guard of silence escort it away. Your room is a command center disguised as peace. Every object knows its purpose and every purpose has its hour. You refuse to be lured into emergencies that dissolve under a single steady breath. A whisper tries to pass for prophecy but carries the grammar of panic. You read it once and file it under yesterday. The new file is labeled proof, and it grows heavier with clean details. Your steps have a sound that unsettles counterfeit authority. The floor recognizes the weight of someone who belongs. The walls shift subtly to widen your passage. Preparation is no longer a task list, it is your native weather. You carry it like air, invisible but essential to everything living in you. Those who thought you careless will learn the discipline that moved quietly under your kindness. A map of the morning waits under your palm like a calm animal. It trusts you because you trained it with honest touch. It will sprint when you release it into the right hour. The first light of dawn will not catch you unmade. You have folded the loose ends into firm lines and stacked them by purpose. Your name will be the cleanest thing in the room. They tried to harvest your attention with glitter that scratched the eye. You blinked once, and the glitter fell like dull dust. The real light stayed where it always stays, within reach and without noise. You hear a door close 3 rooms away and understand which story just ended. You do not chase endings that arrive on time. You bless the space they free and fill it with better work. The message you send next will be short, precise, and unarguable. Every word will land like a tool on the right material. Sparks may fly, but the cut will be clean. You carry 3 permissions in your pocket like keys that never leave you. You are permitted to leave any room that forgets your worth. You are permitted to protect your future without apology. You are also permitted to thrive loudly in places where silence used to own you. That permission is not borrowed, it is your inheritance. You honor it by using it fully. The weather inside your chest has shifted from storm watch to clear command. Your lungs understand the schedule and keep the air steady. Your heart drums the timing that turns effort into outcome. Someone who once left you in the hallway now opens the door without being asked. They remember the integrity you carried when it was unfashionable. They want to stand close to the heat that built without noise. Your boundaries no longer need long speeches. They live in your posture and your pace. They travel ahead of you like a scout that sets the table. On the table is a simple meal named focus. You eat it and feel the muscles of your attention grow. Distraction stares through the window and realizes it is not on the guest list. The city outside rehearses another day of loud, forgettable urgency. You will not audition for roles that drain your light for applause. Your role is written by purpose and funded by peace. A call arrives with a crooked smile hidden in its ring. You let it land in the archive where unworthy noise goes to sleep. The right call follows, and you answer with a voice that makes room sit up. The hour that scared you last year now bows. When you enter, it recognizes the work you did when no one clapped. It recognizes the steel you installed beneath your kindness. A document lies ready for your signature like a promise asking to become a fact. You read it with the eyes of someone who learned patience through fire. You sign when the alignment clicks into place like a quiet lock. Every line you draw today is a fence against erosion. Your future will grow behind it with soft confidence. The wind will still blow, but it will respect the boundary. The ones who studied your routines begin to realize you outgrew them. Your new rhythm cannot be mapped by old eyes. Their charts flutter uselessly in a room that no longer holds you. You gather your team and share a slim briefing. Clarity is the water they drink, and loyalty is the chair they sit on. The air hums with competence that does not need theatrics. Across town, the meeting that once threatened you runs out of script. Their confidence wilts under the light of missing facts. Your absence is the loudest presence in the room. You send a courier named Evidence to attend in your place. Evidence sits straight and refuses flattery. Evidence speaks only once and leaves a trace no rumor can smudge. The morning opens like a stage without a trapdoor. You step to your mark with soft shoes and firm reasons. The cue light blinks, and you move in a line only purpose could draw. Your calendar has fewer boxes and more breadth. You kept only what compounds into strength. The rest went quietly to the fire where waste becomes warmth. 3 windows brighten at the same time in your life. One is for learning and you open it first. The second is for building and you brace it with patience. The third is for receiving and you let it lift on its own weight. You do not yank it open, you let alignment do the heavy work. What arrives through that window knows your address is ready. Someone practiced speaking your name with a crooked tongue. That tongue now stumbles on clean ground. Your name keeps its balance because it trains daily on truth. You send gratitude outward like a disciplined beam, not a scattered spark. It lands on real helpers and strengthens their hands. It does not leak into mouths that bite the palm that feeds them. Your walk becomes a quiet announcement that the season has changed. No trumpet, no parade, only a certainty that curls into everything you touch. Doors sense it and unlock a second before you reach them. The attack's architect stares at a clock that no longer applies to you. Their schedule collapses under the weight of your pivot. Their confidence thins until it tears along the seam of your preparation. You do not gloat because gloating steals energy you need for building. You harvest the lesson and archive the rest. Victory tastes clean because you refuse the flavor of bitterness. Your craft sharpens as if guided by invisible hands that learn from your patience. The work itself becomes a shield that also generates light. Those 2 properties make it sacred in a practical way. At midday you pause, not to stall but to consolidate. You internalize what worked and release what clung without helping. This habit turns good days into durable momentum. The ally who once stood at the edge steps fully into your circle. Their skill slides into place like a well-made gear. The machine of your mission hums smoother for it. You write 3 sentences that settle a problem which fed on confusion. The first sentence names the truth without frosting. The second sentence assigns the next step to the right owner. The third sentence closes the loop and frees your attention. The problem shrinks to its actual size and loses its shadow. You move on with nothing rattling behind you. Your reflection in the window looks like someone you promised to become. You nod to it as if greeting an old teammate. Together, you continue the work without ceremony. A message from your younger self arrives without paper. It thanks you for protecting a dream through years that tried to blur it. It asks you to keep the promise while joy is still fresh. You honor it by structuring your afternoon with care. You place difficult tasks where your energy is strongest. You stack easy wins at the edge to keep morale warm. Rumor tries to blow across your field like dry wind. Your crops are rooted too deeply to bend into lies. They rise and glitter with the sheen of well-watered truth. A threshold appears where a wall used to be. You step through without shrinking your shoulders. The ceiling lifts because you no longer insist on standing small. Numbers align on a page that used to frighten you. They agree with your integrity and reward your discipline. Every digit feels like a small bow in your direction. You send a note to someone whose quiet competence deserves sunlight. The note lands like a medal in their hand. It strengthens the bridge between you with clean, simple gratitude. In the distance, a mirror shatters that once multiplied your doubts. The floor laughs softly as it swallows the shards. Reflection returns to serving you instead of scaring you. You choose rest as strategy, not surrender. Rest refuels the precision that keeps you untouchable. It makes your next decision land like a craftsman's strike. The sky leans toward evening, and you check the perimeter with calm eyes. Everything that matters is accounted for and evenly breathing. The rest can wait without injury to your path. You light a small lamp named Perspective and set it near your plans. Its glow reveals which step makes the next 3 easier. You take that step and feel the floor agree. A small test arrives dressed as an inconvenience. You greet it with a process that was ready before it knocked. Tests lose their teeth when they meet a system you trust. You draft a boundary for tomorrow that anticipates mischief. The line is clear, the tone is kind, and the enforcement is automatic. Mischief reads it and chooses a different playground. The evening brings an email with a hook hidden in praise. You detach the hook with a sentence that neither bleeds nor boasts. The message sinks back into the sea without taking a piece of you. Your house smells like order and honest work. Even the corners feel seen by your attention. Dust has nowhere to hide that your discipline will not eventually find. A mentor figure lifts a finger as if blessing your posture. The gesture needs no words because your actions already spoke. You carry the blessing as confirmation, not permission. A headline tries to turn your focus into fuel for someone else's fire. You let it pass like weather on a distant hill. Your climate remains steady, built from inside out. You archive the day with 3 acknowledgments. You acknowledge your effort in full value without discounting it. You acknowledge help received without naming it debt. You acknowledge what remains to be done without calling it a burden. Tomorrow receives this honesty like clean instructions. The night hears it and softens around your windows. Somewhere, the architect of the attack rewrites their story about you. They begin to whisper that you are not a target but a threshold. Their team grows quiet because truth is loud in the bones. You forgive yourself for the years you thought survival was your only job. You were gathering tools for this exact expansion. You celebrate by using them with less fear and more craft. Your future steps in, taller than the last time you met. It smells like new wood and good ink. It asks to be carried with steadiness, and you agree with a simple nod. The final shutdown turned into a final shaping. Edges smoothed where friction once lived. Strength settled into a form that fits your walk. You arrange your tools for tomorrow in a pattern that saves you minutes. Those minutes become pages, and the pages become proof. Proof becomes a bridge you can cross any time doubt raises its head. A soft bell rings in your spirit when the day is complete. It rings once for work, once for love, and once for rest. The 3 notes braid into a rope you can climb whenever the air thins. You lower the lights without lowering your standard. You close the book without closing your appetite for growth. You lock the door without locking your heart. Before sleep, you whisper a vow to keep this clarity clean. The vow is small, specific, and repeatable. Small vows move mountains when honored daily. The window cools under your palm like a promise calming itself. The night outside is large, but your peace is larger. You consent to rest because you built the conditions that allow it. Morning will meet you where you promised to be. Your promise is a compass that never spins. Your steps will follow it across thresholds that once frightened entire rooms. You outlived the trap by outgrowing the bait. You outpaced the plot by outprioritizing its noise. You outshone the rumor by outworking its shadow. Now, you carry a map that others can follow without worshipping your footprints. You carry a flame that warms without burning the hand that holds it. You carry a name that moves through doors because it learned to stand when no doors opened. This continuation becomes a bridge between warning and mastery. It documents the shift from defense to design. It seals the promise that your tomorrow belongs to your deliberate, living hands.